Is your partner overly critical of you, or are you overly critical of your partner? Well, when this pattern comes into a relationship, usually it's because we saw that modeled by our parents. Maybe they were overly critical of us, or maybe we saw them being overly critical of each other, at least one on the other. So as you know, the part of our mind that learns how to have relationships doesn't learn critical thinking. It doesn't, it's like your ABCs and your math part of your brain isn't the part of you that's learning how to have relationships. We're just monkey see, monkey do often. And if so we grow up in a household where there's a lot of criticism, then that movie is playing in our mind, and that's how we learn how to relate in a relationship. Sometimes people aren't even that aware that they're doing it. I remember years ago, a job I was working, and one of the employees was just really critical of other people, like to the point where she was pretty obnoxious and nobody liked her that much or wanted to work with her. And then one day, she was struggling with a new process that had been implemented by the company. And one of the other employees made a criticism of her being slow, and she lost it. Okay? She was so upset that this person was being critical of her and saying these things. And the person who made those comments was like, "Are you kidding me? You criticize people all the time. You put them down, you belittle them, you make them feel small. Like, you are the queen of criticism, but you can't take a little tiny bit back." And it like stunned her. She really had a huge blind spot that she was even doing this. And she apologized over and over to the person who made that criticism. She's like, "I didn't know that I was doing that. My dad used to do that to me. I really hate that. I didn't even realize that's what I was doing." And when we have those movies playing in our mind, we have those subconscious patterns and programs, often we are the last one to realize that we're acting this way. And I'm not saying that excuses it. I'm not saying you shouldn't bring it to their attention and have the conversation and that changes don't need to be made. But just understand that it's usually because of a pattern that was going on in our childhood, whether implemented on us, our siblings, our parents, between each other, and we learn subconsciously how to be that way. It ain't pretty, it ain't fun, but we get to look at ourselves, take responsibility, and clear it out, because you're not only doing yourself a favor, oh my goodness, you're doing everybody else a huge favor. So, be the change you want to see in the world. I love you. If you want to learn a little bit more, check out the link in my bio or in the description, and I will see you soon.